What is going on, everybody? On here, and it's been a long week of traveling, getting stuck in airports, sleeping in right outside of airports. So it's been fun. So not a whole lot of content since we did the Warhammer video on Monday or Tuesday, where it's obviously confirmed that we're getting a bunch. So I want to talk about 30th anniversary. There is a lot of misinformation out there, and there are a lot of everybody seems to be missing the obvious situation here with 30th anniversary. So, saw Danny Phantom's video saying that he's getting 220% more packs than Ascended. I'm assuming, reading between the lines, he means at release date versus Ascended. If you guys recall, the only product that came out at release date for Ascended were the 3-pack blisters, because even the 2-pack were delayed. So that headline number is extremely misleading. I'm here to tell you, for one, Ascended Heroes print run, or 30th anniversary print run, is approximately 30% higher than what Ascended Heroes was. Now, there's a lot of people out there saying, well, it's only 6 packs. Yes, but it's the 6 cards. They basically pulled all the chaff out. All the garbage commons, all the shit that nobody wants. It gets chucked in the trash or in the bin. Those cards have been removed. So when I say 30% more packs, it's 30% more packs that are apples to apples, because it's going to be 30% more of your SIRs, and then you have 30% more Pokemon, because there's 1 per pack, and there was obviously none in Ascended. But it is not meaningfully more product than what we saw with Ascended Heroes. Point number 2, for those of you Timmies who don't recall, when Ascended Heroes came out, a lot of people thought it was kind of shitty. In fact, the common consensus was it was a little bit to a lot weaker than Ascended Heroes. Then a couple weeks in, people started going nuts. They saw the cards, and all of a sudden it was off to the races. With 30th anniversary, everybody and their brother is super bullish. Can't wait to get hold of it. Can't wait to rip the packs. So that is something else that 30th anniversary has for it, that Ascended Heroes did not. Prismatic Evolutions did to some extent, but that was really the first, I would say, the first banger in the trifecta here. And we'll talk about 151 in a second as well. So we have that going for it, where everybody is super bullish from the get-go. Thirdly, there's so much chase in here. And even if the SIRs are more common than what we've seen in the past, if you're getting 1 SIR in every 22 or 27 packs, whatever the number is, again, so far look at with a very, very limited sample size, which could be skewed because right now people are showing their hits. They're not showing the garbage. That's still 1 in every 3 ETBs, which is fucking horrendous. So let's not forget that 1 in 20 some is a pretty terrible number. And then let's talk about the overall hits in the set. You have a Pikachu in every pack. Pikachu in every pack. You have the SIRs. You have the futuristic rares. You have the classic collection. And then you have the 3 1 in 10,000 Mews, which, again, we'll see when the numbers come out, but they're going to be extremely, extremely hard to hit. But there's one thing that everybody's missing, and a lot of folks are saying that the pack price is going to be somewhere around Ascended Heroes and this and that. And I'm here to tell you that these numbers are not comparable. And let me show you why. And I'll get to it at the end of the video here. This shouldn't be a long one. So 151, and this is only going back to August of last year. $12 a pack. This was available basically at MSRP. So these were available at $5 a pack for the longest time. Then we go to Prismatic. These packs were sitting basically $8 to $8.50 to $9 for the longest time. So we took a step up from $5 to $8. Just say $8, put a pin in that, and here's your Prismatic. Now, you're obviously at 15 now. Ascended Heroes, sitting at $14 a pack, and this at the absolute low was basically $11.50. Just say $11.50. So we went to 5, we went to 8, we went to $11.50. So, in my opinion, Celebrations packs are probably not going to see much below $14 a pack for loose packs. In fact, I'm guessing it's probably going to be a little bit higher. Now, what I'm going to tell you is there's some folks here that you're going to see consistent numbers. Now, I don't know who most of these stores are, but there's Pokemon, 131, Pokemon, Best Deals, another one in here. The difference between 30th anniversary, and this is very, very fucking important. Every card contains 6 random hollow cards. 151, Prismatic and Ascended Heroes were all weighable and searchable. So the packs on TCG Player, you have to assume 100% of them were weighed, at the very least, potentially searched. So you had zero chance of getting a God pack. And there's so many fucking garbage scumbag rip and shippers out there where they'll go through every single one of these. They'll pull out the God packs, they'll pull out the packs that they want for themselves. They'll sell what they can on stream, and they'll dump the rest of these fucking garbage packs on TCG Player. And it's effectively a race to liquidity. So what you see with Ascended Heroes and Prismatic Evolutions and 151 is this price is artificially depressed by the number of pieces of garbage out there that have weighed the packs, and they're just trying to sell loose packs to suckers. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to get the best SIR in the set. It doesn't mean you're not going to get a Moonbryon. Doesn't mean you're not going to get a Gengar or a Trikachu. What it does mean is you have no shot at getting a God pack. There's 0. So the fact that there's so much volume of loose packs here is artificially suppressing the price. Now, what you're not going to see is you're not going to see it for 30th anniversary. So all of the cards are foil. They have done and taken a significant amount of measure to make sure that these packs are not weighable. Now, do they end up being weighable or not at some point in the future? I don't know. But what I can tell you is they did take some significant measures to quote unquote ensure they're not weighable. So if these are not weighable packs, there is no incentive for rip and shippers to rip the product, go through, weigh, search, whatever you want to call it, keep the good packs, and dump either the lower probability packs or the dead packs on TCG Player, which is going to give you a true, accurate market price of the pack versus the expected value of a clean pack. And that's something that, quite honestly, I haven't heard a single person talk about in any of the Pokemon videos yet. So that being said, when these packs come out, there's really no reason to even sell loose packs at this point. Because, I mean, maybe you're ripping them out of mini tins. You don't want to ship the mini tins. But there's no incentive, again, for loose packs. Now you have a bunch of folks here. Maybe they think it's easier, trading card world with the Schlong measuring contest, 5,000 from PhD, MVP Sports, $29. They're just going to sell what they can, not a big deal. But they're really, if you notice here, there aren't a whole lot of folks dumping the product because, generally speaking, rip and shippers don't have physical locations and they do not qualify. I don't know why these guys can pre-sell. They don't qualify for pre-sales. So that being said, I think a lot of people are going to be surprised at how resilient 30th anniversary is. And yes, there are a significant amount of SKUs coming out at release, but the fact that the reception of this set, which is a 10 out of 10, whereas Ascended Rivals was like a 6 out of 10, maybe a 6.5. Ascended Rivals, Ascended Heroes, Jesus Christ, I said it again. I've been off for a week and I still screwed it up. People are going to be shocked at these packs. And then you're going to start to see the red, the green, and the blue Muse go for $5,000, $7,000, $10,000. And people are going to lose their minds. And then all of a sudden, there's going to be more demand. And guess what? If there's no reason for people to dump loose packs because they can't gain a financial advantage, they're going to stay on the sealed product because they're easier to ship. And I think what we're going to see is a significantly lower amount of loose packs available and loose packs for sale on 30th, which is also going to push up the price of the rest of the sealed product. So again, this is just a lesson in Econ 101, looking at the 30th anniversary set, as I'm told they've changed the ability to weigh them, and just kind of projecting down the line as to what I think is going to happen. Now, we have some news. We're going to talk Delta Rain, and we're going to go right here. Let's look at Delta Rain. So first things first, it is now confirmed Delta Rain is going to be a waved set. 60% wave 1, 40% wave 2. The reason for this is not because there isn't enough product, and we'll get to that in a second, but they are actively trying to balance the market. Their goal is to keep this as close to MSRP as possible without tanking the product. And between you and I, this is the perfect Goldilocks scenario for a store that gets a lot of the product, because you're going to get as much as possible for the highest sale price. Because at $160 per booster box, or $5 a pack, whatever you want to call it, now all of a sudden nobody's scalping. Big box stores are having a harder time selling it. They're actually selling the set on its merits, not on its resale value. And I mean, I've talked to reps in the last couple of days where they had actively told me, as they were soliciting orders for this, they had stores cutting their order because they said, what if I only make 30%? If you only make 30% on this, this would be the fucking third best year in your entire existence next to the last 2 years. So it is going to be fascinating, because Pokemon could dump all 950,000 booster boxes on the market at one time. They could smash this thing. They could break its back. They don't want to do that. That isn't the goal. The goal is a soft landing around MSRP, which is $5 to $5.25 a pack. Now, there is approximately 30 to 40% more product coming as compared to Pitch Black and as compared to Chaos Rising. Now, are we going to see all that at release? No, we're going to see 30% more of Wave 1. And then we'll see what happens at Wave 2, because remember, they don't have to send all of Wave 2 at the same time. We've seen it sequence where you've seen ETBs go out. We've seen it sequenced with booster bundles go out. We've seen it sequenced with booster boxes going out. And the reason why, in my opinion, we got the second wave of Pitch Black right behind the first wave is because, A, the product held up extremely well. In fact, the boxes were pre-selling for like $275 going into release, and obviously it's since dropped down to $190. But they saw that the market was able to handle that, and they also cleared the deck of all of the Wave 2 products, I think, except for FP3, or First Partner Series 3, Third Series, whatever you call it, to clear the deck for as much hype going into 30th anniversary as possible. Now, the good news or the bad news is that ME07 is going to have the same or a slightly bigger print run than Delta Rain. So, Rudy did a video the other day saying that they are now overprinting, and I firmly agree with that statement, but it's what they have to do to get this to where it needs to get to. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for tonight. More Destined Rivals ETBs dropped on Walmart this past Wednesday. Another 30,000+ is what I'm told, and they're still printing it. So they are going to continue to hammer and hammer and hammer and get that number down. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and we'll talk tomorrow.